Hi, everybody. It's Mark Smith with Family Tree Brand Life Coaches. And as I had indicated in my previous two videos, I'm going to demonstrate how to have an empty chair session with your narcissistic abuser. First, I would coach you to watch those previous two videos. One was called Honoring Your Sacred Shattering Anniversary. Uh, Somebody messaged in and said, Happy Shatterversary, which I thought was really cool. Shatterversary. And then somebody also messaged in and said, Sacred? How could your Shadiversary be sacred? And the reason it's sacred is because we get the blessing of healing more once we're shattered than we ever have or ever could have. I worked hard on my therapy from about age 28 to 55, but I maybe got, I don't know, 25% of my work done that I can get done. But after my shattering at age 55 through now age almost 59, I've gotten probably another 50% work done in that short amount of time. And maybe 20% you just nibble away the rest of your life. But that's a lot of work to get done in less than 4 years. So, um, uh, you really should take the day off and take care of yourself and get a massage. But watch that video, and that'll explain the whole concept of honoring your shatterversary. The next video was about empty chair work with your narcissistic abuser, and I just talked about the value of it, where this concept of doing empty chair work originated. I coached you to do this with your therapist or your sponsor or a recovery friend. And just it was me just preparing you for your own empty chair work with your narcissistic abuser in sitting in the empty chair, so to speak. I would coach you that timing is everything. I don't think I definitely wouldn't have been ready for this after year one or any time during year one. I was just too fragile and broken and shattered. I don't think that me personally that I would be ready to do this until just right now. And I'm gonna show you how I would do it. I've got a picture. That's another thing is don't just have an empty chair. Have an empty chair that has something that reminds you of that person. So I've got a picture of my former fiance. Uh, I don't have it. I didn't have any in my possession, but I found one on Google. Just one photo. She keeps a low profile, and but I do have a picture of her in front of me, and I'm sort of as I'm going to be sharing this and modeling for you. The other thing I wanted to say is I'm not doing this for my own personal therapy. Okay, I have a therapist. I have a marital therapist. I have a lot of recovery friends. I share with my staff. I share with my wife. Uh, the reason I'm doing this is I want to provide you shattered people out there that don't have no money ways to heal, ways to get the poison vomited out of your system and cried out of your system. And I want to provide you with ways that will empower you to not sit around and feel crushed and broken and victimized by these really vile, disgusting people that are out there called narcissists. Now, I think that this video might be somewhat controversial because I'm not going to vilify my narcissist. This isn't going to be a rant where I'm going on and on about, what a terrible human being she is. I'm not going to do that because the truth is, I recruited her to treat me the way she treated me. I needed to be reduced to a raging, abandoned, crying, turning purple infant, like I was when I was an infant and I was abandoned by my mother. So I needed some vicious, nasty, cognitive dissonance, gut wrenching, disgusting abandonment and betrayal. That's what I needed. That's when I met her. That's what my unconscious was going ding, 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 ding. Hey, this chick's like your mom. This chick will reduce you to that purple screaming infant, and you'll get to meet that little infant and be that little infant and cry those tears and heal those wounds more than you ever have your entire life. So take something that reminds you of that person. Okay, so I have a little drink here and then we're going to get down to business, okay? Okay, so I'm switching hats here, and I'm looking into the eyes in this picture of my narcissistic abuser. And I'm not going to use her name. I don't want to cause further embarrassment or notoriety for her. This isn't about her. This is not about her. This is not about my feelings about her. This is about me. This is about us. You doing your empty chair work, that's about your healing. The narcissist is neither here nor there. They're not that powerful, okay? So, I'm wondering if there's some way I can sort of signify that I'm talking to the narcissist. I know this sounds silly, but it'll help me. I'm going to use this as a microphone, okay? Just to help me get in the moment, okay, of talking with this person. It's really, really strange to finally talk to you. There's no other place in life where there's a 6.5 year relationship and then boom, gone, vanished into thin air. Just that process of being so viciously ghosted, it was so disempowering. So it is empowering for me to actually have you here in this chair in front of me, listening to me. This isn't really about you. You're not really important to me, but it is about uncovering the wounded inner child in me and giving me a chance to heal just a little bit more. You didn't have any power to hurt me. I'm 100% responsible for my life. Mother Nature just used you to heal me. I'm going to use her first initial. All right. B. I have wondered what's happened to you. I'm a little bit curious, I have to say, because you just, like I said, you just vanished into thin air. I don't know if you're dead of suicide. I don't know if you're married. I don't know if you married your fellow narcissist. I don't know if you're sucking some man dry of money with your game. I don't know if you're back on the dance floor in the country bars picking up a different man every night. I don't know if you weigh 350 pounds. I don't know. I know this. I know you're not happy. I know this. I know that you haven't contacted me with humility, wanting to make amends. So, just curious. I know that what it was in it for me is I needed to block out reality because I needed my mommy's love, and you very much so are made out of the same psychological DNA as my mother. She was also a two-faced person, a person who would rage and use and lie and cheat and steal, and then appear as if she were innocent. In the Bible, it says the wages of sin is death. I don't think that's going to work out very well for you. I want to talk a little bit about my experience this past 3 years, and I know you don't care, but I just want to fucking say it. All right? So, do you know how very close I came to dying? You know, the person that slept next to me in bed, the person who professed to love me, who wore my engagement ring, who opened presents with me on Christmas Day. Do you know that I almost died? Do you know how close I came to losing my career? I wish that you could spend 1 week feeling the intensity of my freshly shattered pain. I think it would destroy you. It was a tsunami of destruction. It was a tsunami of tears and gut-wrenching torture is really what it was. I wish that you could feel that. Do you know that I still have really fresh triggers related to the viciousness of your betrayals? Did you know that I was almost destroyed completely financially? So, did you know that through this experience, I, I almost lost who I was? I experienced exhaustion that was debilitating. I had panic attacks. I had cognitive dissonance. It's like you mind fucked me so bad. Your game was so good that it just didn't compute in my head that you could be so fucking evil and yet act like the country girl with a heart of gold. It made my brain hurt. It gave me claustrophobia. I still suffer from brain fog. I still have a hard time being emotionally close. And the anxiety just sort of crackles throughout my system still, throughout my body. And the sadness and the tears and the inability to sleep and the suicidal thoughts. And I was a person who had so much joy in so many things, in playing basketball and riding my motorcycle and watching movies, and I lost the ability to have joy in anything. Did you know that? My hands. Did you know that your viciousness of hiding your real self and acting and portraying yourself so that you could gain narcissistic supply. It shocked my whole system so much to where my hands shook for years. It shocked my system. You are one goddamn good actress. Did you know that I still have sensitivity to sound? I can't handle loud sounds, or I can't handle bright lights. Did you know that I spent many, many months pacing and just filled with hyperkinetic energy, that I'm still easily startled, that my body is still fragile? Did you know that I still have pain in my chest?
Hello, my name is Jerry Wise, and I'm a therapist and family tree counseling associate.
Sorry about that. My computer went out, and I accidentally hit a button, and it came up the Jerry Wise video. So let me get back in my focus here. Did you know that I carried pain in my heart, right in my chest, in my heart, deep pain, where my massage therapist would touch my chest, and I would just begin to weep, and I would weep for an hour and a half straight. Did you know that? Did you know that I would have nightmares, just horrible, dark nightmares, that I would feel hopelessness, that I was constantly fearing and dreading something horrible happening to me? Being associated with you just destroyed my innocence. You know, there was an innocence about me, and your darkness and the darkness of your soul just destroyed that. Did you know that I became completely unhinged? Do you know what it's like to feel so powerless? Do you know what that's like? Um, I felt psychologically raped and defiled. That's how I felt. Um, my drive to do things was paralyzed. All of these things happened to somebody that you constantly told that you loved, and you would leave little notes around with little hearts on it. That was all just part of your game. I remember that you went out and you bought a sign, and the sign said, "These are our family rules." And you put the sign right by the front door, and the first thing it said was, "Always tell the truth." What I want to know, was that a joke? Did you buy that and think that was funny? Because you knew that every single thing about our relationship was a lie? Did you buy that as an inner joke when you had your fellow sex addict narcissist over to my house? Did you guys laugh about that? Um, or was it who you wanted to be? Was there something in you that was good, something in you that was decent? Did you want to have the ability to not be such a liar? I remember maybe 50, 60 times how you'd look me in the eye and say, "I would never cheat on you. It's just not who I am. I've never cheated on anyone." You cheated on everyone you've ever been in a relationship. Your whole nature is to use, to lie, and cheat. And damn, you were good at it. And you would say that from time to time, just to keep me off balance, just to keep the mindfuck game going. But did you know that this shattering has been one of the biggest blessings that's ever happened to me, that I'm grateful for? Because what you did was you exposed me to the reality of me. And not everybody's reality is very pretty. And the truth about my childhood was dark and horrible. And I didn't know, but I know now. You exposed me to what the reality of the world is like. I did not know creatures like you even existed, because I didn't know how to recognize a dangerous narcissist, but I do now. I see them coming now. thank you that I've been able to develop heartfelt, deep, powerful empathy for my fellow sufferers of narcissistic abuse syndrome. Um, and as they're crying and they're sharing, I'm able to say, I know what you're going through. Thank you for preparing me to be loved by somebody, Renda, who genuinely loves me. Thank you for building this YouTube channel and helping hundreds of thousands of hurting people uh, because of your treachery and because it's been redemptive and healing in my life. Uh, Many people's lives were actually saved, and hundreds of thousands of people have been helped, and many people have had encouragement and they've had their lives enriched. So actually, it didn't blow my career up. It caused my career to explode in a positive way. So fuck you very much for that. Um, it's the Lord works in mysterious ways. You know, you meant it for harm, but God meant it for good, and it's been a wonderful thing. And I've been blessed enough to do what I always wanted to do: move to the beach. You know what? You know what, B? I don't hate you. In fact, I never even met you. I never even knew you because you hid who you really were from me from the very beginning. So I wish for you recovery, but I fear that your heart is black and that you have no soul, and I pity you. My business with you is over. It is completed. You know what? You missed out on a genuinely loving, wonderful man. And all you got was lies and stolen money. God help you. All right, so now I'm going to take the picture down here. I'm going to rip it up. So, I got to tell you, folks, if I was in my therapist's office, I probably would have let loose a little bit more. But I was trying to do the best I could to model for you what you might say, and what I tried to model was show gratitude, because these people meant to harm you, but if you really got the message of what it meant in terms of helping you relive and reenact the wounds of your childhood, they did you a tremendous service. It doesn't seem like they did you a tremendous service, but they actually did. There's a story that I read to all of my clients when they come to me, and it's a cute little story about a sparrow, and I'm gonna read that to you because it illustrates how even something vile and contemptible and evil and just subhuman, even a relationship with somebody like that, the universe can use as redemption and use as healing. So this is a story about the true nature of romantic love. Once upon a time, there was a non-conforming sparrow who decided not to fly south for the winter. However, soon the weather turned so cold that he reluctantly started to fly south. In a short time, ice began to form on his wings, and he fell to the earth in a barnyard, almost frozen. Then a cow comes by and craps all over the little bird. The sparrow thought his life was over, but in fact, the manure warmed him and defrosted his wings. Warm and happy and able to breathe, he started to sing. Just then a cat came by, heard the chirping, cleared away the manure, found the little bird, and promptly ate him. So here's the two morals to the story. Everyone who shits on you, they're not necessarily your enemy. When it comes to healing the wounds of your childhood and then slowly inching forward with humility and tears in your eyes and slowly moving towards thriving, that vile narcissist actually was your friend. Weird, huh? I've been slowly moving toward thriving. It's a slow track, man. Anybody who says you can get over this by watching a video or going through a program, it's a long track. And it's been 3 years. I've come so very, 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 very far. But it's like you have to rebuild your life. You have to build your life from scratch. And I'm in the process of rebuilding my practice, rebuilding my, with the new marriage, and rebuilding my life as a creator and as a writer. And it's one big, fantastic adventure. But there's a few hiccups and a few sliding back and sliding forward along the way. Y'all know that. The other moral to the story is everyone who gets you out of the shit, they're not necessarily your friend. They're like the cat. They get you out of the shit, but then, bad things happen. And that can be if you're in a relationship with somebody who really you feel a lot of damage, and then you want to jump in another one real quick. And I would just caution you. And this is what narcissists do, is instead of ever having the capacity to learn and heal and grow, they jump into they suck narcissistic supply from fresh sources constantly, because they can't face off with the truth about themselves. They don't have the courage, and they don't have the strength, and they don't have the depth, and they don't have the integrity to really heal from their core. I had an interesting and a wonderful gift today. I met with, it was actually my brother's best friend from childhood, and he wanted to meet with me because he saw one of these videos about my borderline mother, and he met with me, and his eyes almost teared up, and he said, "Man, my mom was like that too." And he told me a bunch of stories about stuff about my mom that I never knew. He was there. I was sort of dissociated from it. And he said he had a very vivid dream of my mother. And it was him showing up and her making biscuits and gravy. And his dream was really vivid. She used to do that. She used to make biscuits and gravy. But I just wanted to share that. It was a unique little haunting from my childhood and from my mother by a witness to what went down. Don't do this at home unless you're ready. Don't do this at home without your therapist, or at least your sponsor, or at least a very powerful and wise friend in recovery. But if you're carrying shit around that needs to be gotten off your chest, sit down and have a talk, and put the man's picture there, put the woman's picture there in the chair, and say what you need to say. And don't be bitter, and don't rage, but be angry and sin not, the Bible says. And if you need to, have a big old snotty cry. But I know what I'm feeling as a result of doing this work today is I'm feeling empowered. I'm feeling like I'm putting that person in the rear view mirror and I'm moving on from April 26th of 2015. That's what I wish for you. I wish you empowerment. I wish you healing. I wish you blessing. And I wish you the ability not to be bitter, to take something that was meant for evil and turn it into blessing for yourself. Thank you for watching today, and God bless you.